We continue our breaking news coverage this morning after Border Patrol agents shot 2 people yesterday afternoon in southeast Portland. DHS says the shooting was self-defense as they tried to stop a suspected Venezuelan gang member in the country illegally. You're getting a live look at the federal courthouse area downtown where demonstrators are expected to gather in support of activists arrested by the Department of Homeland Security. Good morning and thank you for joining us here live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Tim Gordon. We also have team coverage this morning. Corey Johnson is live outside the South Waterfront ICE facility with reaction from Portlanders. But first, we want to break down what we know so far. DHS has identified the people involved as Luis Moncada and Yorlenis Zambrano Contreras.
They say that Moncada illegally entered the U.S. in 2022 and was, quote, released into the country by the Biden administration. DHS also says he's been arrested for DUI and unauthorized use of a vehicle. DHS says the passenger, Zambrano Contreras, is also a, quote, illegal alien from Venezuela. They say she was also involved in a prior shooting in Portland. DHS says both have ties to the trendy Aragua gang. Both are still in hospital and will be released to the FBI's custody.
Local officials are now calling on ICE to halt operations until a full and independent investigation takes place. Catherine Cook has more on how things all unfolded yesterday afternoon.
The parking lot of this Southeast Portland Medical Clinic now ground zero for the latest shooting involving federal agents. Just before 2:30 Thursday, the Department of Homeland Security says U.S. Border Patrol agents shot 2 people here while conducting a targeted vehicle stop near Southeast 102nd and Main. Inside the car, a man and woman, both in their 30s and both, feds say, undocumented immigrants from Venezuela affiliated with a gang, prostitution ring, and recently involved in a Portland shooting. Federal officials say when agents identified themselves, the driver tried to run over the agents. That, they say, is when an agent shot at the car. The injured man and woman drove off in this red pickup. You can see the window's been blown out. It ended up here, 3 miles away at 146th and East Burnside. Portland police responded and officers rendered first aid before medics rushed the pair to the hospital. 911 recordings offer a glimpse of their injuries.
It looks like caller saying that he was shot twice by ICE and his wife was shot as well. We have a male who was twice in the arm and his wife who was shot in the chest.
Portland police secured both scenes. Police Chief Bob Day adamant that was their only role in this case.
We do not know the facts of this case. We are simply providing that traditional investigative support and perimeter support.
As federal officials processed the scene, Multnomah County DA Nathan Vasquez processed the situation.
I think the message to the community is that local officials are very carefully monitoring this, and we're making sure that the interests of this community are well represented and that this investigation is done in a thorough and complete manner.
That was Catherine Cook reporting. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live now from Portland's ICE facility in South Portland.
And Corey, what are you seeing out there with the daylight now, and what are we hearing from Portlanders?
Yeah, well, Tim, China, last night we saw a small group demonstrate outside the ICE facility late last night, but this morning, since we've been here since about 5 this morning, we haven't seen any demonstrations. We have seen candles, flowers left outside the ICE facility so far, but no protests or demonstrations. And neighbors living near Northeast 146th and Burnside, where the man and woman were shot, ended up, were very fired up about this incident last night. Now, this was the scene last night when police tape surrounded an apartment complex in Northeast Portland and onlookers surrounded the scene. Miles away, activists turned up near Adventist Health, telling us they would be out to demonstrate and speak out against the federal agents in the wake of this shooting.
I think it is critical that we bear witness to these events and that every person is afforded the same rights and the same due process.
And again, no demonstrations early this morning since we've been out here the last few hours. We'll continue to monitor this situation and update you with any changes. Back to you.
Corey, thanks very much. And speaking of the ICE facility, Portland police say they did take 5 people into custody last night on charges of including riot, disorderly conduct, and interfering with a police officer. A 6th person was arrested on charges involving the use of amplified sound equipment and was charged with disorderly conduct. A reminder for you now, police here in Portland say they do not engage in immigration enforcement, but they're still responsible for maintaining public safety and enforcing state laws. This morning, we're also hearing from local leaders at nearly every level speaking out about that shooting.
So Portland Mayor Keith Wilson is calling for ICE to get out of the city, at least for now.
We know what the federal government says happened here. There was a time when we could take them at their word. That time is long past. That is why we are calling on ICE to halt all operations in Portland until a full and independent investigation can take place.
When a president endorses tearing families apart and attempts to govern through fear and hate rather than shared values, you foster an environment of lawlessness and recklessness. Trust is essential to maintaining community safety and the rule of law.
Now, we also received a statement from Oregon Senator Christine Drazen. She said, quote, "I am disappointed but not surprised to see our state's politicians rush to judgment and treat dangerous criminals like victims. I want law enforcement to arrest transnational Tren de Aragua gang members and take them off our streets and human trafficking and make our communities safer." She then went on to say an investigation is underway. That investigation will determine whether today's, which is yesterday's, use of force was warranted. The last thing we need in a moment like this is a bunch of grandstanding politicians exploiting this situation and inciting fear to advance their own political agendas.
With the FBI leading the investigation, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield has declared he is opening a formal investigation of his own into the shooting and the actions of the agents involved. This morning, we're hearing from a former FBI agent who trained federal officers. We asked Brian Dugan to weigh in on the bigger picture. He said from his perspective, what we've seen in Portland and Minneapolis is a product of escalated enforcement that's just moving too fast.
We're trying to go after more violent offenders and or effectuate more immigration arrests. That means there's just a lot more contact in an operational sense, especially when there's a lot more unknowns. It's making a tinderbox for both the law enforcement professionals and the citizenry.
Dugan says he'd like to see a pause to make sure agents are handling these arrests in the right way. He also tells us under federal rules on use of force investigations, there won't be many public updates going forward.
As a reminder, the official statement from Homeland Security says that this was a targeted operation going after illegal immigrants with ties to a Venezuelan gang called Tren de Aragua.
In the past, members have been linked to drug smuggling, prostitution, and extortion. And under the Biden administration, the gang was listed as a transnational criminal organization. Then last year, the Trump administration labeled it a foreign terrorist organization and ordered the deportation of alleged members. In September, authorities say 11 members were killed during airstrikes on boats while allegedly smuggling drugs to the U.S. in international waters. Again, Homeland Security says the people were shot and injured. A man and woman in their 30s were affiliated with that gang. Of course, this is a developing story we're tracking all morning on air, online, and streaming on KGW+.
Your time now is 8:08. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at your forecast and a beautiful sunrise, apparently.
Look at this, China.
Look at this.
You tell me. What do you think?
Beautiful.
She says beautiful.
Beautiful.
The sunrise, yes.
I'm talking about the sunrise, Rod.
Yes, the sunrise.
You're handsome.
I mean, I like this black sweater I'm wearing. Okay, all right. Here's the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront camera. The winter storm warning did expire as expected yesterday, so we have no warnings, alerts of any kind. We have a dry day coming, and the cloud deck should break up for at least partly cloudy, maybe even in some areas at times. Mostly sunny. So we think it's a really nice day, and clearly the sun on the Columbia is really beautiful this morning. Early morning number as we look from the Springs at the waterfront, 41 degrees. Here's a look at another spot. No sun breaking through here. There are a lot of clouds still to be had, but no frost on the grass either, and that's up in elevation in Gresham, Persimmon Golf Club. Temperatures today will be pleasant for this time of the year. We'll be warming up to about 46 degrees at 11. I like our chances of hitting 50 around 2 o'clock and then still 47. It will be a dry Friday evening for you. The early misty spots, no longer getting any reports of that. Here are the numbers. 35 in Hillsboro. Temperatures starting to drop off as we see some increasing breaks in the cloud cover. 39 Battleground. Wilsonville holding at 38. Salem getting closer to freezing. Good morning to you. 34. And the one spot that has dropped off to 32 is down in Corvallis. Our weather map later today. We've got about 40 out east, mid to upper 40s in Central Oregon from Bend to Madras. 50s at the coast. Really nice weather here. Partly cloudy skies, at least that much sun with light winds. and then we'll be well up into the 40s. Maybe some of us hit 50 here in the valley. I think Portland could hit 50. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 51. So back-to-back dry days. There is a shower threat coming in during the day Sunday. We have clouds that just kind of brush across our area. Maybe we get some rain, maybe we don't. But the rain chances there developing Sunday into Monday morning. Otherwise, this is a really dry 7-day forecast, including Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Here's Chris.
Yeah, unbelievably so. All right, let's get you up to Clark County. Thanks for that, Rod. I-5 right now, southbound, really backed up now between this crash just south of the Battleground on-ramp at SR 502 and the Ridgefield area. So it appears that we still have one southbound lane blocked, and you can see we've got about a 2-mile backup on I-5 South. That's the snapshot from Carty Road, and you can see we're moving along at, it's a snapshot, so you can't tell, but we're moving along at about 10 miles an hour there. So you'll need some extra time for sure to get around that. Meanwhile, east side of Portland, I-5 northbound, right near the Morrison exit ramp, it looks like, or I should say the Morrison on-ramp. It looks like ODOT's still there with an earlier fender bender. A tow truck still on scene there, and you can see the traffic on northbound I-5 is bunching up back onto the Markham Bridge. And those are our two significant slow spots this morning. The drive time's really not in too bad a shape. Less than 20 minutes to get in from Hillsborough, and the trip out of Clark County, both over the interstate and the Glen Jackson Bridge. China, as you can see, those are doing just fine this morning.
Thank you, Chris. The city of Portland is putting a limit on how long people can stay in city-run shelters. Why the change is being made after the break.
Hi again.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. There is now a limit on how long someone can stay in a Portland shelter. It's an effort from the mayor to make sure that people are working towards finding permanent housing. In February, the city of Portland expects to ask 80 to 90 people staying in city shelters to leave. Per Mayor Keith Wilson, those who have been in a shelter for 120 days and not engaging with their caseworker will have to leave.
It's really important to know that nobody is being exited for failure to find housing. They will only be exited for not talking to their care coordinator or their service provider.
My 120 days was just up and it was going to be in the winter, and I'm like, is it going to be me and a cat out in the corner?
Exemptions to this rule include those with severe mental health challenges.
The U.S. House has passed a bill to extend expired Affordable Care Act subsidies. It's a rebuke of House Speaker Mike Johnson, who tried to stop it, but some Republicans did join Democrats to pass the legislation, 230 to 196. The bill now goes to the Senate, where pressure is building for a similar compromise, bipartisan one. The health care subsidies, which impact millions of Americans, were a major sticking point in last year's record-long government shutdown.
All right, time now is 8:14. We are turning to your weather coverage with a lot of snow now on the ground. Ski Bowl announced that it is kicking off ski and snowboarding season today with night skiing from 3 to 10 p.m. Ski Bowl had a soft opening for tubing just before the holidays, but it wasn't enough for skiers and boarders. With 21 inches of new snow on the ground in the last few days, the resort says it is fired up to welcome folks back.
Fired
Bill's
up.
Fired up.
Fired. Go Ski Bowl. That's great. Glad to see them open. Fired up.
You read that story with some vigor there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I actually every year I get really jealous because I tried snowboarding once, one winter when I was in Seattle at Snoqualmie, and I was like, this hurts.
Yeah, not for you.
Not for me. But maybe skiing I'll try.
I committed to not keeping my legs in good enough shape to go skiing. That was some years back.
I don't believe you.
And so far, my commitment's holding true. I have weak legs. I can't do it. Here's Timberline Lodge. You've got early morning yellow color off to the eastern sky, and there's the blanket. Again, Timberline, I think it was 41 or 42 inches of total snow came down Tuesday to Thursday. Meadows picked up just about 10 inches less than that, so over 30. So great new snow conditions. Now here's the downer, but this is being plowed occasionally throughout the day and will continue to be from ODOT. That's the snow-covered highway on 26. But 29 degrees is the number, and they will get above freezing at this location. So I do expect maybe drastically improved conditions as we get rolling into the afternoon hours for travel and a dry day and not much wind and all that. So we have, in fact, pretty much a dry day across our entire region on this Friday. Thicker clouds holding out. The thin layer of cloudiness that we have right now is going to be breaking up, we believe. So anywhere from partly cloudy to, hey, maybe it's mostly sunny at times. Futurecast just shows not much. In fact, it really opens up sunshine this afternoon with the cloud cover holding out. But you can see the rain. So the key to the weekend is, will these approaching areas of rain hold out to our west and up to our north, or will they just kind of nip the northwestern corner of our state here in Oregon? And of course, that would include up in southwest Washington. I think Portland stays all dry today. This is tomorrow, Saturday at 2 o'clock. I think we stay all dry. This shows some rain coming in potentially Sunday morning. I believe it's more likely that this fizzles and that thicker cloud cover later in the day Sunday may give us some light rain. Now, with me saying that, this model says, well, actually that batch of rain is going to hold out off to our northwest. So either, again, some light rain coming into the valley, the PM hours of Sunday to Monday morning, or it just stays up to our north. We're not tracking any cold fronts, no storm systems at all. Providence Park camera, some breaks in the cloud deck, 39 degrees. Here are the other numbers. It's 44 up in Seattle. Notice colder in Salem, Eugene. This is where clouds have been clearing, and especially down Eugene. It's been freezing all morning. It's also 30 over in Bend this morning. 21 Baker City, 36 though out in Pendleton. Valley forecast numbers for you. A really nice Friday for this time of the year. Early cloudiness, partly cloudy skies, mid to upper 40s, light winds. Believing there could be a 50-degree temperature around Portland, Vancouver, maybe even up in the Battleground, what this shows, with some sunshine coming. Winds will kick to the east, but we think only like 5 to 15 today coming into east counties. 50-51, couple dry days. There's that rain chance we talked about that we may or may not see Sunday and Monday morning. And then just like that, this is temperature inversion, really strong high pressure ridging. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all dry. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Man, that does not look like mid-January. All right, let's get you up to Clark County again, keeping you posted on this crash that's north of Salmon Creek here, I-5 southbound. It's actually right near the Battleground on-ramp at SR 502. So it appears that we still have one southbound lane blocked, and traffic from Ridgefield to just south of the Battleground exit ramp is really slow right now, moving along at about 10 miles an hour or so. So give yourself a few extra minutes to get around that. The earlier crash that we had near the Morrison on-ramp to I-5 North, this is over on the east side of Portland here, looks like that crash right there has just cleared, and so traffic that was backed up a little bit around that is still running a little slow over the Markham Bridge, but we should see some of that flush out. The drive times, Tim, we're not in too bad a shape out there this morning. 18 minutes. Did my voice just crack? 18 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough.
I think it
to
did.
downtown.
Friday light. All right, thanks, Chris. When Sunrise Live at 8 returns, we have the latest from Minneapolis, where a woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent earlier this week. The message Minnesota's governor has for people in Portland right after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. As we work to learn more about the shooting by a Border Patrol agent in the Rose City, people in Minneapolis held a rally that also served as a vigil.
Many people were chanting and yelling, calling on federal agents to leave the city. On Wednesday, an ICE agent shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good during an immigration operation. It sparked national outrage and protests in several cities, including Portland. Federal officials say there is an ongoing investigation into the Minnesota shooting. The Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Vice President J.D. Vance have both said the ICE officers' actions were in self-defense after Good tried to run over the agent with a car. Meantime, Governor Tim Walz is calling for people in other cities, including Portland, to stand with Minneapolis.
Donald Trump will make this about me. He will make this about politics. This is about public safety, and this is about normalcy. To Americans who are watching this, if you're in Portland or you're in LA or you're in Chicago or you're wherever they're coming next, stand with us. Stand with us against this.
Mayor Wilson sharing his support before what unfolded here, writing, quote, "Portland stands with you. I warn Homeland Security leadership that their actions constituted a disaster in the making." He adds the horrific loss of life is a direct consequence of ignoring that warning. Make no mistake, this death was entirely preventable. Now, the ICE agent at the center of this shooting has now been identified as Jonathan Ross. The Homeland Security Secretary says last summer he was dragged by a car and injured while trying to arrest a sex offender. Governor Walz says the FBI has shut state officials out of the investigation into the deadly shooting. Meanwhile, the University of Washington has released a new report that shows federal agents are still accessing Washington state drivers' information to track down and detain immigrants.
Sharon Yu with our sister station in Seattle spoke with advocacy groups who say they are deeply troubled by this finding.
Our center has verified 9 cases where Washingtonians were subjected to immigration enforcement while driving.
In a who's who gathering of immigrant advocacy groups, the University of Washington officially published a new report showing the state of Washington is still doing business with the feds on immigration enforcement, even though that is against state law. The report shows immigration agents used a switchboard called Access, a messaging system run by the Washington State Patrol to send requests into a national information network. It allowed federal agencies to pull up data about Washington drivers and vehicles from the Department of Licensing. Agents only need to put in a license plate to run the search. Angelina Godoy is the chief author.
From the plate search, then they obtain the name of the registered driver of that vehicle, and they can then either within NLITS itself or in ICE's own databases run that name and see if that person has any kind of immigration record. And if they do, they pull them over.
This isn't the first time DOL has been in hot water for allowing feds access to its data.
It feels surreal, and
It's upsetting.
Nina Martinez is board president of Latino Civic Alliance and was one of the many nonprofits on the press conference call this morning. She says people are already in so much fear.
They feel afraid to go outside. They're also afraid to go renew their license.
Martinez says she trusts the intentions of state leaders remains the same, protecting immigrants.
You know, they care about this issue. And our state government does, our legislature does, our governor does, our attorney general does. But we got to really address the state agencies and how they operate.
DOL and the State Patrol, or WSP, released a joint statement yesterday that denied they are breaking state law. It reads, quote, WSP does not own Department of Licensing data, initiate or approve federal queries, or participate in federal civil immigration investigations. Its authority is limited to system administration. As for Border Patrol's access to that data, they say they're reviewing next steps. For nonprofit leaders like Martinez, she's shifting the message to communities.
Just keep going, but maybe elevate again, you know, that nothing is safe right now.
Coming up in the next half hour, we continue our coverage of two people with suspected ties to Venezuelan gangs who were shot by federal agents.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. The Department of Homeland Security posted on X earlier this morning identifying the two people shot by Border Patrol agents in southeast Portland yesterday as Luis Moncado and Yorlinis Zambrano Contreras. DHS says both are, quote, illegal aliens from Venezuela with ties to the gang Tren de Aragua. They also say that Zambrano Contreras was involved in a prior shooting in Portland. We reached out to Portland police for more information about that shooting. We know they are both hospitalized. FBI will assume custody when they are released. Head over to Rod Hill for a look at your weather.
All right, China, thank you for that update. We have a nice Friday coming, all dry. Obviously, with that forecast, no longer any warnings or anything, including up in the Cascades where it will be a dry day. Good visibility at the beach. You can see the top of Tillamook Head. That's looking from Gerhardt by the Sea Resort down that way towards Seaside. And we have some breaks in the cloud deck around Portland. We're at 41 degrees. Winds are light. We expect opening up, basically increasing sunshine, upper 40s at noon. We could get up to about 50 for a high today. And then I have a dry Saturday. I am watching thicker clouds and the chance of some rain coming in Sunday into Monday morning.
We continue to follow breaking news out of Southeast Portland, where Border Patrol agents shot 2 people yesterday afternoon. This happened just before 2:30 in the parking lot of the Adventist Health Clinic. This is what the clinic looked like earlier this morning. Not long ago, we learned the names of the 2 people shot, Luis Moncada and Yorlenis Zambrano Contreras. DHS posting on X that both have ties to a Venezuelan gang. The feds claim the driver tried to use his car as a weapon and the agent shot in self-defense. Local officials are calling on ICE to halt operations in Portland until a full and independent investigation takes place.
We will get back to this breaking news in just a moment, but first we want to get to your weather and traffic.
Yeah, my part of your update today is just a nice Friday coming. The winter storm up in the high country did expire yesterday as expected, and it left in its wake it was like 31 inches of new snow Tuesday into Thursday at Meadows, and that was 40 to 41 inches that fell up at Timberline. So the bases are great. They're just under 50 inches on the ground, as lots of folks, I assume, will be headed up there today and tomorrow. A dry day on the mountain, not much wind either. 25 at Timberline. Freezing levels today will jump up to around 6,000 feet. So Timberline expected to break the freezing mark this afternoon. We have kind of a mixed bag of clouds with some breaks in the cloud cover, and that's what you see here over our state capital. Salem is one of the cooler spots, 34 degrees. It's been colder down I-5 as you drop southward this morning. Portland, clouds with some breaks as well, and you can see not much of any wind here either. 41 is the temperature. I think we will be looking at increasing sunshine, 48 degrees at noon. Could hit 50 for a high and then back down to about 47. Dry throughout. We've got highs around 40 or so with some sunshine out east. Central Oregon, if you're going, there is snow on the ground in Sun River. 42 to 45 is the number. The coast with light winds will be low 50s today. It's really spectacular weather. Then upper 40s to maybe we hit 50 in Portland for a high today. I've got all dry tomorrow in the Rose City, 51 for your Saturday. And then increasing or thickening cloud cover on Sunday that may or may not lead eventually to some light rain into Monday morning. After that, we go back to all dry. Here's Chris McGinnis.
For that, let's pick it up in Clark County. A couple of trouble spots. One in the clearing stages, an earlier crash south of the Battleground on-ramp to I-5. Looks like that's finally out of the way. The traffic sensor here, this was slapped on there a couple minutes ago. It looks like we're moving better than 9 miles an hour at this point. So it looks like we're in better shape there. Meanwhile, over on the east side of Vancouver, SR 500, we've got a crash on SR 500 westbound just past I-205. One lane blocked, maybe a little bit of local slowing getting around that. The freeway drive this morning has really been fairly light. That's typical for a Friday morning commute. And as we look at the drive times, not too big of a deal out there right now. 18 minutes gets you in from Troutdale, 17 minutes from Hillsborough on Highway 26, and the drive across the Columbia on both the interstate and the Glen Jackson Bridge. Tim and China, that looks fantastic right now.
Thank you, Chris. We continue our breaking news coverage this morning after a Border Patrol agent shot 2 people yesterday afternoon. Homeland Security says it was done in self-defense when they were trying to stop suspected Venezuelan gang members in the country illegally. In a post on X this morning, DHS identified one person as Luis Moncada. They say that he illegally entered the U.S. in 2022 and was, quote, released into the country by the Biden administration. DHS also says that he has been arrested for DUI and unauthorized use of a vehicle. The passenger in this case has been identified as Yorlenis Zambrano Contreras. DHS says that she also, quote, a legal alien from Venezuela with ties to Tren de Aragua. They say she was also involved in a prior shooting in Portland. We have reached out to Portland police for more information about that shooting.
And yesterday's shooting happened just before 2:30 in the parking lot of the Adventist Health Clinic in Southeast Portland. The Department of Homeland Security says U.S. Border Patrol agents were conducting a vehicle stop. Federal officials say when agents identified themselves, the driver, Moncada, tried to run them over. The feds claim the agent shot in self-defense. They say Moncada and Zambrano Contreras drove off and ended up 3 miles away at 146th and East Burnside. Both of them are still in the hospital with no update on their conditions. The DHS says the FBI will take them into custody upon their release.
Now, the FBI is leading this investigation. Oregon's Attorney General says that the state will do its own investigation. Portland police secured both scenes, and Police Chief Bob Day is adamant that that was their only role in this case.
We do not know the facts of this case. We are simply providing that traditional investigative support and perimeter support.
Another demonstration is taking place this morning at the federal courthouse in downtown Portland. So Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us there live. So Corey, what are you seeing out there so far?
Good morning, China. Tim, right now we're not seeing much in the way of demonstrations. Activists did post on social media that they plan to demonstrate this morning until about 11 a.m. Now, those organizing the protest say it's in support of activists who were arrested by DHS and ICE officials. Now, we know right now 6 people were arrested outside the ICE facility late last night. Now, this wouldn't be the only demonstration set to take place that's happened in the last 12 hours or so. A small group also demonstrated outside the ICE facility in South Portland late last night. We talked to multiple people in the community fired up about last night's shooting.
Truly tragic and truly sad that we have to start the new year off in Portland, Oregon like this.
Scared for my kids and my family and for anybody, any of my friends.
Now, activists also turned up near Adventist Health, telling us that they would be out to demonstrate and speak up about what's going on, and speak out as well against federal officials in the wake of this shooting. As we mentioned, we are outside the courthouse right now. Another demonstration set to take place until 11 a.m. It does not appear that people have gathered just yet, but we'll continue to monitor the situation out here and update you as we learn more. Back to you.
Corey Johnson live downtown Portland. Thanks, Corey. Portland police say they took 5 people into custody last night on charges including a riot, disorderly conduct, and interfering with a police officer. A 6th person was arrested on charges involving the use of amplified sound equipment and was charged with disorderly conduct. A reminder for you now, police say they don't engage in immigration enforcement, but they're still responsible for maintaining public safety and enforcing state laws.
And this morning, we're also hearing from local leaders at nearly every level speaking out about this shooting.
Federal lawmakers, including Representative Janelle Bynum and Senator Jeff Merkley, are blaming the federal government for being untrustworthy when it comes to immigration enforcement. They also say Republican lawmakers are not putting enough pressure on the White House and holding the Trump administration accountable.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have enough tools. What we do have are oversight hearings, but my Republican colleagues in the House and Senate, who are in the majority and therefore can decide what hearings are held, have been extremely reluctant to hold oversight hearings. And when they have been held, we get very little honest conversation about the challenges we're facing and the conduct.
We need to call BS when we see it, which is what we're doing now, and we need to make sure that we continue to press for comprehensive immigration policy and do not fall for this trickery that is masquerading as law enforcement when we know that it is state-sanctioned terrorism.
Meantime, Senator Jeff Merkley says he's postponing town halls that were scheduled today in Yamhill, Polk, and Marion County so that he can be present in Portland while the shooting investigation continues. Now, we also got a statement from Oregon Senator Christine Drazen. She said, quote, "I am disappointed but not surprised to see our state's politicians rush to judgment and treat dangerous criminals like victims. I want law enforcement to arrest transnational Tren de Aragua gang members and take them off our streets, end human trafficking, and make our communities safer." She went on to say that an investigation is underway. That investigation will determine whether today's, which was yesterday's, use of force was warranted. The last thing we need in a moment like this is a bunch of grandstanding politicians exploiting the situation and inciting fear to advance their own political agendas.
And this was a scene last night outside City Hall in Portland where people had been protesting before they learned about the latest shooting. Initially, they were calling on city leaders to do something about ICE after the deadly shooting in Minneapolis. And as you can imagine, the demonstration only grew from there. Here's Portland City Councilor Samir Kanal, who says he's outraged by what happened, but not surprised.
We've been talking about ICE and its activities, its lawlessness for months now. And actually, this is a conversation that goes back years. And it's just a matter of time until something like this happened here, until the federal government reins in this force and takes it apart. We will not have an end to the violence.
Canal said locally, the city can try to pass a policy to prevent federal agents from wearing masks, but a change in deployment and resources is up to the Trump administration. This is a developing story today, and we're tracking it all morning on air, online, and streaming on KGW+.
Your time now is 8:39. We're headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at your traffic.
Well, happy to tell you guys, the Friday morning commute is living up to a typical Friday morning commute. Not a lot of issues out there. We've got generally light volume. We go up to the Ridgefield area just south of an earlier crash on I-5 south of the SR 502 on-ramp has cleared, but we still have some local slowing getting around that. So be aware of that as you make your way out the door. The freeway drive, as we give you a little sampling across the metro area, we're in pretty good shape. The Sunset's rolling along just fine. I-5 through North Portland looks good. So does the Banfield as well. So I'll take this opportunity to remind folks in Oregon City, there's another closure tonight of 99E beneath the Abernathy Bridge. That full closure starts at 11. It'll reopen tomorrow at 7 a.m. And guys, next week, this is a big deal, the I-205 Abernathy Bridge. There will be overnight weekend closures again next weekend. We'll talk more about those as we get a little closer.
Thank you, Chris. As the Oregon Ducks prepare for the Peach Bowl, fans here at home are preparing to watch, where you can find a big game on a big screen.
Sneeze.
Hey, every year millions of suitcases are lost. Maybe it's happened to you. It's the worst. And that's because the airlines lose a lot of luggage, but also people take the wrong suitcase home because they all look the same. That will not happen to you with Mirage Luggage. You can see the bold, unique designs, unmistakable, but that's just the start of this. The exterior is durable and high quality, so this will not get damaged in transit. Plus, here are some other features that I love. This 3-dial combination lock will keep your item secure. It also has this smooth push-button telescopic handle and 4 heavy-duty spinner wheels that give you 360-degree movement. Plus, they are specially designed and engineered to glide gracefully over any surface. So you won't be walking through the airport anymore with that old suitcase you have on 2 wheels. You have Mirage now. But by the way, something else I want to show you. These heavy-duty zippers come on in here. If you're anything like me, you pack your suitcase to the gills. This will keep you protected. And inside, the smooth mesh design gives you smart organization. Plus, if you have a lack of space at home, this 3-piece set, they nest. So you only have room for the big luggage. You are all good. Plus, check out all these extra colors and prints. No matter your style, there's a design for you. Huge deal today. Normally $399.99 for the 3-piece set. Today, just $139.99, 65% off. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. With the Portland Trailblazers are expected to ask the state of Oregon to help with upkeep of the Moda Center.
So according to Oregonian, the organization is eyeing a $600 million renovation with the help of state funding. The Blazers are expected to ask lawmakers to redirect state income tax on players, team employees, and visiting players to Moda Center improvements instead of those tax dollars going into the state's general fund. The day we have been counting down all week is finally here. The Oregon Ducks are just a few hours away from kickoff in the Peach Bowl.
Here we go. KGW sports reporter Orlando Sanchez continues our coverage from Atlanta.
Good morning, everyone. It's the final countdown. Just a few more hours to go until kickoff to the Peach Bowl. The Oregon Ducks and Indiana Hoosiers playing for a spot in the national championship.
This game is going to be what college football is about.
It's the Ducks and Hoosiers in the Final Four.
Two teams that are really complete. They play great on offense, defense, and special teams. They don't have a weakness.
Undefeated Indiana is the top-ranked team in the land, led by Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback Fernando Mendoza. The Hoosiers sport a top-5 offense and defense, the only team to beat Oregon this season.
I know I said it's hard to be a great team twice. Well, it's hard to be a great team, period. If you can't get up for an opportunity to play Indiana, especially when they had the better half of us last time, then shame on us.
And the flock flies together. A Peach Bowl pep rally in downtown Atlanta.
I've been a season ticket holder for like 41 years.
A trip to remember.
I'm actually retired. And so I'm looking at, it's my fourth quarter too. And so it's really about the experience.
Bigger than football.
Amazing. It's my sister.
Special.
It's been a tough year.
Yeah, it has been a tough year. I lost my husband this year, and she's he was my
I'm
buddy
filling
at all the
in.
games, and she's coming
I'm
with
the
me
new
to-
buddy.
Yep.
Making lifelong memories.
I feel like that this has probably been the best experience my entire life.
Go Ducks!
And go Ducks.
It's about to go down. Just hours away until kickoff. A trip to the chip is on the line. Kickoff scheduled for 4:30 Pacific time right here in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Reporting from the ATL, Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.
Orlando bringing it from Hotlanta. All right, if you're looking for somewhere to watch the game here at home this afternoon, the official PDX Ducks alumni watch party, that's happening at the Thirsty Lion in Washington Square. Reservations are available, but not required, so you can just show up if you want. The party all starts an hour before kickoff at 3:30. And for more information, you can check out the PDX Ducks Facebook page.
We are so excited.
Yes, go Ducks.
And Rod Hill's on the roof. The roof.
Yeah.
The roof. The roof is on fire. Finish that.
Is that? What am I supposed to do?
He has no idea.
No idea.
Oh, bless his heart.
Man, we'll teach you later.
You're adorable.
You'll catch me later? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll show
Bye.
you. All right.
All right. Oh, the Ducks. Best mascot ever, right? Puddles the Duck? Yeah. All right. I'm up here on the roof. KGW Weather Deck brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. There are some breaks in the blue looking over the West Hills, but generally it's still pretty cloudy over downtown right now. Not much of a wind, just a little chill in the air. Let's show you what's going on. We have a completely dry forecast. With the final warning was that winter storm warning over the Cascades and over the Blues. All of that expired yesterday. That storm system you see offshore with all the clouds, that's expected to kind of hold out. Now we'll get some cloudiness kind of brushing in. We think a partly cloudy day that might even just be mostly sunny at times developing. We seem to be seeing, if you will, increasing breaks in the cloud cover here in the valley over the past couple of hours. You can see again, we are completely dry and winds are light, including for you folks out in the gorge. Futurecast is going to actually show a partly and even mostly sunny day opening up. That might be a little overeager, but we'll see. You can see the clouds, and if you look to the far left of the screen, that's where the rain is holding well out for us today. So a completely dry Friday forecast. And I think here in the valley, we'll have a completely dry Saturday forecast as well. This does show in green the chance of some moisture up in western Washington along the coast and maybe even a dribble down around Astoria, for example. Notice how the clouds, the rainy areas in green, generally are either just catching us going into Sunday or holding off to the west and up to our north. Clearly a reasonable chance of getting wet, especially Sunday up in Seattle. We could stay dry. We're just telling you that maybe some of this rain does just clip the Rose City for your Sunday plans. Other than that, the forecast is amazingly dry, going all the way through as late as Friday of next week. Here's the way it looks from the Wells Fargo camera. A little bit of brightness, the yellow hue from the rising sun as we look down a quiet Willamette with light winds. 41 degrees is the temperature. Here are the other numbers across our state right now. It has been clear down in the South Valley to Eugene. That's why Eugene's at 31 degrees this morning, also freezing in Bend, and the cold spot would be out in Burns where it's currently 18. So it's a good looking Friday. How about partly cloudy skies overall coming our direction? Mid to upper 40s, generally upper 40s in the valley, and there could be somebody just get up to 50. I give both Portland and Vancouver a chance of doing so. East winds 5 to 15 could come out of the gorge into East County a little bit later today. There's that rain chance on Sunday, but this is a really quiet 7-day forecast. 50 today, 51 tomorrow, 49 on Sunday. It is birthday time. All right, pretty good birthday list on a Friday, starting with Kinsey. A happy birthday to you. And check this out. We haven't had triplets in a while, and we have them this morning. That's Peyton, Parker, and Presley, all turning 11 today. Happy birthday to you. Eleanor is one up on that, 12 years old. Happy birthday to you. Robert turning the big 6-0 today. That's a big birthday. Hope you have a great day, sir. And Bob is 76. Happy birthday to you on this Friday. He's got a lab. He's got a golden. Look at that. All right. Birthday's at KGW.com, and we'll celebrate with you. Actually, to me, there's not as much bite in the air this morning as there was when I was out and about yesterday, Chris.
Okay.
Didn't feel bad.
Okay, so, you can take the shirt off and stuff and just let everything air out then. I want to give you a reminder here in Oregon City. 99E will be closed again overnight tonight between the Abernathy Bridge. That's all part of the Abernathy Bridge improvement project. The 99E section closes beneath that overnight from 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. And then next weekend, both Friday and Saturday, there will be full overnight closures of the I-205 Abernathy Bridge as well. All right, back to your drive here and now. We're in fine shape, really. The traffic is moving along just fine. Drive times are not too much below a speed limit commute right now. 16 minutes, a little slow getting in from Hillsborough, but not bad. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
All right, let's return to our breaking news after a federal agent shot 2 people in the Rose City during what Homeland Security calls an immigration-related traffic stop.
And we now know the names of the 2 people shot. Homeland Security posting on social media that the driver, Luis Moncada, and his passenger, Yorlinis Zambrano Contreras, were shot just before 2:30 yesterday afternoon in the parking lot of a Southeast Portland medical clinic. The feds say the driver, Moncada, tried to use his car as a weapon, and the agent shot in self-defense. DHS says the pair in the country illegally and suspected of having ties to a Venezuelan gang. They also say the driver was previously arrested for DUI and unauthorized use of a vehicle, and the passenger was previously involved in a shooting in Portland. We reached out to Portland police for more information on that shooting. Both of them were taken to the hospital. No updates right now on their condition. The DHS says the FBI will take them into custody upon their release.
And with the FBI leading the investigation, Oregon's Attorney General says that the state will do its own investigation. Protesters gathered last night at both City Hall and the ICE building on the South Waterfront, expressing outrage as officials called for transparency, accountability, and calm.
And your weather forecast, all of the storminess from the last few days gone. We have dry weather moving forward. We'll open up at least partly cloudy skies, and Portland has a chance to get up to about 50 degrees, passes our snow covered. But with rising temperatures, Highway 26 probably sees a big time improvement in the snowpack that's on the road right now. Dry tomorrow, we're watching that rain chance developing Sunday to Monday morning, and again, we may or may not see that, Chris.
Freeway drive times in fine shape this morning. Highway 26, maybe 16 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough. The rest of our drives pretty close to a speed limit. Commute, the trip over the Columbia River, not bad. 10 minutes right now. I'll get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. That's the I-5 drive. Yeah.
That's great, not bad. That's terrific. Wow. 10 minutes from Vancouver.
Rolling along.
All right, when it comes to the shooting that we've been covering all morning long here on Sunrise and on KGW Plus, we want to reiterate that both are hospitalized. We don't know their conditions right now. We will have hopefully more information for you coming up on KGW News at noon. And you can watch Sunrise here live exclusively on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. And we have added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 live right here on Plus. And we're hoping to get more information for you about what unfolded yesterday.